already taken the still photos, so what I'm going to do now is I like to take the paint meter measurements on video. That way we can just see the readings in relation to the panel and where it's located. And I'll also take this opportunity to point out any cosmetic imperfections or something that just needs to be pointed out. We'll start off with the windshield. I don't see any obvious signs of any cracks or chips. Here, just taking a quick look at this dash at this angle here. I'm checking for our cracks. So it looks like it's been treated and got Armor All or some kind of coating like that. So, I mean, it looks good, right? So let's get some readings. This paint meter here measures in the thousandths of an inch. So this first reading is 7.0. So that's 7/1000ths of an inch. Okay, 6.5. And what we want to do is we want to see some consistency, right? The one reading that will trigger a red flag is 19.7 specifically, because that's an indication of body filler use, not necessarily respray, but definitely body filler. Looking at the right front bumper, you've got some scuff marks here. The lens has some light scratches on here, but no cloudiness like I typically see on these plastic lenses. So that's good. The grill's in pretty good shape. The rest of the bumper's got the little bumps and scratches here, the scuff marks and little side swipe here. Lens pretty good here. 7.0, 7, 7.5. Looking at the windshield from the left side. We'll just take a quick look at the dash. And let's take a look at the roof line as well, now that I'm here. And we'll just walk it back here. All right. I still need to review that myself. Let's look at the left fender here. So 2.5. So, okay, so now we see the difference in readings, right? So this 2.5 reading, typically on these vehicles, it's like around 4 or something, right? 3.5 to 4. So I would be more inclined to say that this is factory paint here. The hood's been resprayed, just based on the readings. But let's go ahead and move on. And also there's a ding right here too. If I catch the right angle, sometimes it'll come out on the video. Here at the left front wheel, it's got some it's got some Bridgestones, 265/60 R16s. And I always like to look at the DOT number to see when the tire was manufactured. Looks like it's in 2017. The reason I like to look at that, because even if the tread is good on the tire, we need to consider the age of the rubber too. Most manufacturers, after 10 years, recommend that you replace the tire no matter what, right? Because the rubber is just old and it's hard. Here I like to get a shot of the wheel well. I'm actually, I take pictures, I do videos from underneath, from on top. I try to hit any angle that I can to see if anything comes out. Here I always like to look at it sideways to look for any ripples or dents. Outside mirror, looks like it's in pretty good shape, just some minor little scratches there. I don't see any obvious damage to the glass. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get some door readings. 8, 7, so we're getting more high readings. I haven't reviewed the Carfax or history check. I think you ran the report, so if we see like an accident on there, I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, not all accidents are reported to those agencies. That's why it's important to do these inspections, because that way we get first-hand readings. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the readings. 5.5, 5.5, so 5. So our readings are all over the board, right? 7 here on the hood, 6.5, and then we got a long scratch here, about 3.5 inches. Looking at the back window, I don't see any obvious signs of damage to the defroster lines. And then another view of the roof line. Here, looking at the rear bumper, we see some stress cracks here, indication that the car has been hit from the back. And then you can see some side swipes here, and then some more scuffing there. All right. And here, just another side view here. And I can see the ripples here on the rear door. 1, 2, 3, 4, like a series of 4 dents. The biggest being forward facing, then they progressively get smaller heading back. Okay, 5, 4, 5. Glass looks good. Let's get the right rear wheel. Tires are 225/60 R16s and manufactured in 2016. You get just some light scratches here. Beltline trim looks pretty good. Get Oh, I got the quarter panel readings. I don't remember. 5.5, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 4.5, 5.5, 5. The right side mirror, just some scuff marks there. Looking at the windshield at this angle here, windshield looks, or the dash looks pretty good, and no obvious issues with the roof. Here, looking at the hood, let's get some more readings. 7, 7, 6, under 5, 5, right front wheel. We got the Bridgestones again, manufactured in 2017. And let's get a quick view of the wheel well. I forgot to get a shot of the brake pads. Sometimes I can get them, sometimes I can't. So I'll do my best to try to get in there. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, when we got those nice open spoke rims, I have a lot better chance of getting those readings. This is the left front. Let's just try the rear. And I'll look at those later. I'll lighten it up and see if it comes out. Do a final look at the exterior. What's on the video. And I've had the engine running here for about 5 minutes already, and I always like to come back here and check the exhaust, make sure there's no smoke coming out, whether it be black, blue, gray, white, because that all means something, right? But as of right now, I don't see anything, so that's good. All right, just going into the interior, I always like to get a quick shot of the dash, and it's at a quarter, temperature at a quarter, and let's see here, and fuel is above half, and the odometer readings at 84,680. All right, going into the engine bay, nothing serious caught my attention. The only thing is, the first thing I would do is replace these hood shocks. They don't support the weight of the panel, so I had to use some vice grips to kind of lock it in place. But that's something you definitely want to get fixed right away, because if you break down or you got to do anything to the engine, it's just a pain to have to hold that hood open while you're in there. So again, one of the first things I would do. I did notice also that all the securing hardware is broken. These things are actually kind of loose, and they kind of just put these were actually used for construction for the wall, right? The screw-in stuff. So kind of an odd choice there. Brake fluid is dark. You can see that. It should be like a nice tan color. Even though the engine oil looks good, if you look at the color of the dipstick on the engine oil, that's what the brake fluid should look like. So the brake fluid is often neglected. Most manufacturers recommend a fluid exchange every 2 years or so. Also check the transmission fluid. That was pretty dark too. So again, that's something else I'd probably consider doing as far as doing a fluid exchange. I looked at the hoses and the belts. Belts look pretty good. Hoses, I gave them a nice little squeeze. There's still some elasticity to them, so that's good. Power steering fluid, again, dark. So yeah, definitely look at the fluids. Again, with those little inserts there. I checked the battery, even though it's dated April of 18. I always like to check the battery and starter and charging system. Battery, it's just requesting a recharge. I'm not sure if they even drive this car much. And the starter checked out fine, and no issues with the charging system, so we know we're good there. I always like to take a look around the engine bay area as well, because what I'm looking for is any outside influence as far as like damage. Sometimes I'll see rodent damage. Some of the hoses will get chewed, or the wiring all bitten up as well. So I like to check for that as well. If you're going to have to repair that, it'd get pretty expensive. And here's that the chassis number as well. Engine sounds good. I don't hear any abnormal noise coming from the bottom end or top end. I just hear fuel injectors. Again, on the video, it's going to sound a little bit louder than what it actually is, but again, nothing that really caught my attention.